I'll just roll my eyes at my thinking I clicked something that I didn't click. Hey, everybody. Hope you had a great Christmas holiday. I swear I feel like I gained about 20 pounds. I put that picture up of my cousin to some of the food that that girl was cooking. She was throwing down, and I was steady going. She was even nice enough to make some seafood free gumbo. So I got to have some of that too. So I didn't have to feel left out while everybody else was eating gumbo. And it had a good flavor. She did a good job. So all in all, see, my cheeks are fatter. My cheeks are fatter. And I'm sure I haven't got on the scale, but I'm sure the number has changed. But hopefully you had just as good of a time as I did. And God Santa brought you everything that your little heart desires. So we're here tonight for What the Fuck Tuesday. This is our last show of 2021. Unless I don't know, sometimes I'll squeeze something in. But I'm thinking, you gain weight too, Hunty? You've been lifting weights like crazy? Yeah, me too. All kinds of cups of stuff. Them cups was heavy too because I had to fill them up. I was struggling. I was struggling. It was full of wine, full of Hennessy, full of everything. Then they had some sangria. I was throwing that down too. I tell you, I can't be around her too much because I look like a house in short order. It was a lot of fun. And her little boy is, let's see, is he 6 or I think he just turned 7. And so he has his own room now. So he's like showing me his room, and he told me he wants me to come and spend the night with him. So I'm gonna go spend the night with him on Thursday. I already ordered some bunch of kitty books from Amazon, and I plan to lay in the bed and read him bedtime stories and have fun and pretend like, you know, I'm still young. I'll read the bedtime stories. I'll be asleep before he is, I'm sure. But he's fun. He's cute. So we should have a good time. I'll tell y'all about that when I see you next time. That's going to be Thursday. Then we'll still be up there for New Year's. So, but we have 25, our usual 25 questions. And then we have a bonus question. So there's actually 26 questions tonight. You got drunk, girl. How somehow I guessed that, Michelle. You be steady having your drinky drink when we be doing the show. So let's get started since we got a lot to do here tonight. See my girl Shada Light is in the house. Hey girlfriend. And all the usual suspects are up in here. So let's get started. Okay, question number 1. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Bolton, Greater Manchester, England, and she's a Capricorn, writing about a male, 22 to 27 age group, who's an Aries. I don't know about that combination. Anyway, I've been seeing this guy for about a month, and our financial differences have become apparent. I'm wondering if I should be thinking about breaking up with him, which is why I'm writing to you. I make more money than him, and it kind of makes me uncomfortable. For financial context, he couldn't afford a birthday present for me while I was able to give him one. We're already unable to go to restaurants, movies, or other traditional date places due to financial constraints. I'm not crazy rich or anything, pretty average income for my area and age. He's a nice guy, but again, we've only been dating for a month, so I don't know him on a deep level. Is it selfish to feel uncomfortable or want someone of a similar financial status? I worry that our differences will lead to relationship issues down the road. Or should I continue the relationship with these potential doubts? Thank you to you and the squad for your insight. So you guys, she said you too. So you get to put your input. I'm gonna say this. You know what I always say. If a man is not giving you the relationship that you want at any time for any reason, you next him. You are only in the 22 to 27 age group. You are too young to be trying to think about you have to sacrifice because this could possibly be your last chance to have somebody like you 70 or something. I could see it if you were 70, 75, 80 years old and everybody around you dropping like flies. And here's a guy who seems reasonably healthy and you get along together. Well, you might make some severe compromises in a situation like that. But you just barely got out the gate, and you already looking at somebody who's like not really as much of an achiever. He just drifting along through life, not making any money, Can't even get you a birthday present. He could at least made you a card or done something, made you dinner, something. He didn't do anything. See, nah. I'm like, you guys, you let young ladies accept too much nonsense. So, and plus, just because he's presenting himself as broke, let me just tell you about that game. They don't really be broke. They just be playing like they broke. Because every time they want something, they can so magically find the money to get it. You ask about it and suddenly, oh, well, it was a gift. They mama bought it for them, or they boy, sold it to them at a deep discount, only $10. Yeah, they gonna have some story that goes with it. But the bottom line is they have money for the stuff that they want, buying booze, new shoes, all kind of stuff. They have money for that. But when it comes to doing anything with you or for you, then suddenly they crying broke. That's why I don't do broke men. You know what I mean? So as soon as they start singing that song, because my thing is, okay, I have two perspectives on this. My 2 points why I dismiss them immediately and have never, even as a teenager, dealt with any guy who had an excuse about he don't have no money. Number one, if you don't have any money and you're suffering, your job is weak, your paycheck is lousy, or something is going on there, your role in your life at that moment is to better yourself, to secure more financial stability. Instead of you chasing after women, you need to be chasing after jobs. That's what you need to be doing. Your attention is on the wrong thing. Your focus and your energy is going in the wrong direction. So I will be quick to tell a guy that. My second point is just like I said, because you guys got to remember I have 3 brothers and a whole bunch of cousins, male cousins, some uncles that was just a trip. And so, when you grow up and you see the games and lies that men will tell women and games they will run on them, you are already ready for it. And so, when they didn't want to spend their money, they would tell a girl because they want to spend it on somebody else, right? Okay, because you young, right? You don't have like endless money like some dude making $250,000 a year. Your money, you making you got a little change, but you don't have that much. Okay, but there's this girl that you really want to impress because you want to try to get in her undies. And so you got this other girl though, she hot on your trail, she calling you and texting you whatnot. So you tell her, well, yeah, I would go out with you, but I don't have no money. That's the test. And so many of the women bite because they're so anxious to spend time with the dude that they say, oh, that's okay, I'll cover it. And the guys, well, my car is down, this and that, blah blah blah. Oh, that's okay, I'll come and pick you up. Do you see the game? That's why I told y'all, you don't never help a man. He said, I don't have no money. You say, oh, that's too bad. Bye. Call me when you get some. I don't, my car is down. Wow, that's pretty messed up. Well, how you going to get on a date that you just asked me for? What was your plan? Well, I thought you could pick me up when you thought wrong. You know what I mean? So this is a classic thing where you guys want to try to prove that you so down and you not a materialistic and you this and that. So you go for the game because you trying to prove something to him. I don't feel like I have to prove nothing. And it's like I'm trying to be going out with you, and if I have to pay, that means I'm going out with myself. In which case, I don't need to look at you. Okay. Plus you stink and your breath is funny and you take up too much space in my car and you wearing out my tires trying to go back and forth to you with to pick you up and drop you off and all that kind of stuff like your ass is driving Miss Daisy. We're not going to do that. Okay. Yes, that's a test, Cherie. You didn't know? Girl, yes. No, you don't tell them nothing, Diana. You don't tell them what to do because, see, then you still taking care of him and helping him. You don't do that. These are grown men. You say nothing. He's like, well, I don't have no car. Okay, you could say, wow, that's so bad. That's so sad. Or you could just say, nothing and just breathe on the phone and wait for him to tell his next lie or sad tale of woe. But whatever it is in a situation like this young lady, you tell this guy, I met somebody else, whether it's true or not. That's what you tell him. I met someone else that, I think is a better match for me, but it's been really nice hanging with you. Bye. Okay, then you just do so. Boop, 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 and be gone. But they talk about, they talk about their money problems because they want to get in your pocket. See, if a man's telling you that he don't have no money, that means he's not really pressed about you. He's not trying to impress you. He doesn't mind appearing like a broke bum in front of you. He just doesn't care. He's there for you to feel sorry for him and give up the draws in your haste to try to solidify something and prove yourself. That's not what you do. If he says he don't have no money, you say, well, well, that's really unfortunate because I don't date broke mother. I don't date broke men. And so then he's going to be like, oh, so you wouldn't give me a chance? Let me think about it. Nope, I sure won't. Because I'm not trying to fund your lifestyle. The only men that get money from women are pimps. And if I give you money and you the pimp, then what does that make me? So we're not going to do that. But good luck on your adventures and your little fairy tale stories game you're trying to run out, see another lifetime. Maybe, maybe not. Okay? So anyway, that's my long-winded answer to your story. Get rid of this fool. Question number 2, female, 28 to 34 from Charlotte, North Carolina. My husband, age 31, has been known to have big anger reactions, especially after drinking. I also feel that nearly every time we drink a lot together, he finds a reason to get mad at me, so I've avoided it a lot lately. But some good friends of mine were in town over the weekend for Christmas to visit family, and I wanted to celebrate and let loose with them. This was my first night out drinking since summertime. Meanwhile, my husband has lots of nights out drinking and gets sloppy, sometimes with me being there as a designated driver. A strange man came up to me in the bar and told me repeatedly that I was beautiful. Then he came up to my friend and I a little later and started saying weird shit about his circumcision or whatever. I don't know. And you didn't cuss him out? My friend and I just kind of laughed and turned away. See, okay, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. My husband came up a minute later and asked what was about. I shrugged and said I would tell him later. I was having a good time with my friends, and I didn't feel like spending my time rehashing what some loser was doing. My husband didn't talk to me for the rest of the night. We got home, he basically unleashed, saying I was trying to purposely hide shit from him. I refused to engage with him while he was drunk, but I am upset and disappointed that once again a night out with him resulted in this crazy stuff. Was I really so wrong, Deb? How would you have handled it? How do I talk to him about this now, since it will be a few days by the time you do your show? You didn't handle this well at all. You didn't handle this well at all. Okay, when the guy came up to you and saying, repeatedly, you said, repeatedly, told me repeatedly I was beautiful. You were supposed to shut him down at that point and say, that's very nice of you to notice and to thank you, but I don't really think my husband would be too fond of some guy coming up in my face telling me anything about his wife. So I think you need to move it along, buddy. Okay, that's you shut shit down. You didn't do it. Okay, so then he comes back for round 2. He's all emboldened now because all you did was just sit there like a bump on a log and not say nothing. Women like you get on my goddamn nerves. It just drives me crazy. This passivity and this tolerance for bullshit that y'all just accept. And then you get clowns like this all up in your face. And then, of course, your husband is going to respond in a negative way because he could tell by your body language and the dude's body language that something funky was happening. And you trying to flip it around and make it be about him overreacting. The man was upset because it's his job to protect his wife. Okay? That's his job. And you did more to shut your husband down than you did that fool that was coming all up in your face. Do you realize that? Oh, I'll just talk to you later. You just shut him down and just like iced him over. But you didn't do nothing like that to the other dude. You didn't say shit to him. You just giggled like a little schoolgirl. And when he came back for round 2 talking about, basically talking about his Johnson in a public place with 2 strange women, and all you grown ass women did was giggle. You're supposed to stand up and cuss him the fuck out. Tell him all about himself, you nasty motherfucker. Get the hell away from my table. You dogs, security, get this, you're supposed to do stuff like that. You don't accept no man coming and you talking to you like that. Saying them foul, vulgar things to you. And you just sit there and giggle? Well, we're not going to go that far, Cindy. Don't say stuff like that. Delete that comment. That's rude and we don't do stuff like that. I mean, you could think it, but don't type it. Just delete that. We don't do stuff like that. What she did, obviously from her reaction, she really didn't know what to do. Remember I said before, how a lot of women will do that nervous laughter because they don't know what to do. And so they, they're like, they're confused, they're scared sometimes. And, to placate the aggressive nature of this man, they try to laugh it off. But what I'm telling you, ladies, you cannot do that. In a situation like this, she had backup there. Her husband was there, and he sounded like somebody who wouldn't mind going to Fifth City and Knockout Town just on the strength of it's a sunny day. So he has a reason for somebody saying something foul and funky to his wife like that and his wife's friend. He's gonna like go in. So this kind of thing here, you though, it's your job since you're the one he was saying it to shut it down. And you didn't do anything. You didn't call security over. You didn't tell the bartender this guy was harassing you and saying vulgar things to you. You set your ass on that stool and giggled like a fucking teenager. And then you wonder why your husband got upset. He's probably upset because he thinks that his wife is crazy. I just really don't understand how you handle this. So you asked me what I would do. That's what I'm telling you, how you do it in the future. You don't sit there and fucking giggle and let the man think that he's okay. Everything's all right in this entertainment. My God. They always have security and they have bartenders, bouncers, and stuff like that. That's what they're there for. Question number 3, female, 42 to 49, from Coventry, West Midlands, England. My partner, 2 years, is 42. He bought my daughter and I some Christmas gifts. Okay. He left all the price tags and a receipt on my daughter's gifts. How old is your daughter? You don't say unless you say later. He had let me know previously that his parents were not going to send gifts this year. They live in the U.S. and that he didn't want me to send them a gift because it would make them feel bad. I was then informed that his parents had sent him money for us instead of gifts. I thought that was lovely, but wished I had still sent them the gifts that we had planned on. On the day of opening the gifts, my partner told me that his parents had actually sent the money for him to buy some gifts for us. I thought, okay, that's lovely and very kind. The day after, he asked me as he was leaving my house to go to his if I would send a thank you to his parents for the gifts. I was already planning on it and felt he didn't have to remind me. I rang his parents that afternoon, but I couldn't get through. But they called back and we had a lovely chat. I sent pics of my daughter with her gifts and a video about my gift. Wow, you did a lot. I then got a video call from my partner stating he was aware that I had spoken to his parents, except his demeanor made me feel like he was letting me in on some secret he had discovered. Oh, I know that tone. Like he was sneaking or something. I know what you're talking about. Later that night, I got a text from him telling me to have my daughter also thank his parents for the gifts. I was already planning on discussing with her about that very thing as my daughter wanted to plan a thank you pack to send them. Oh, that was cute. Within a half minute of sending the text, he recalls, seems pissed, and he states that if my daughter doesn't say thank you to them right now, that he will take her presents away. I was shocked and upset. I talked to my daughter and explained the situation. Okay, and said that was a matter of urgency, which she called them. The forced act of having to say thank you hurt both of us. She sent 2 lovely voicemails, but hasn't touched her gifts since. I feel confused, hurt, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how to get past this. After my daughter sent the voicemails, I sent my partner proof that his demand had been met and a message asking if my daughter could now keep her gifts. He replied, LOL, of course. I haven't interacted with him since my last message, and I'm now struggling with how to handle things from here. I don't know what kind of behavior this is, but it feels devastating. How should I deal with this situation? I'm just lost on where I go next from this, and any advice would be appreciated. You give him all them gifts back. As a matter of fact, anything that he ever gave you in the history of your 2-year relationship, you box that shit up and you sit on the outside of your door, and then you say, come and get all your gifts and stay the fuck away from me and my daughter. Now, see, this is where I'm having a problem with you. I'm having a problem with you. Okay, so he left all the price tags on and a receipt, so he wanted you to know how much he spent on it. That's rude as fuck. Okay, that alone should have told you not to accept anything from him. Okay, that alone, you should have, when you saw them price tags and a receipt, you give it back. That's something where even if people get a receipt, they get a gift receipt. A gift receipt has the codes and stuff of the purchase. So it's tied to a sale that the vendor knows, but there's no value, monetary value on the actual gift receipt. It has a little note from you and that code number. So if they need to exchange it for a different size, a different color, whatever, that gift receipt is just as good as a regular receipt. Okay, that's how that should have been handled. He did this in this tacky way because he was trying to make a point. Okay, that's number one. Number two, um, the parents sent you money to buy gifts, but they specifically he told you not to get them anything because it would make them feel bad. You're supposed to not accept the gifts from the parents. Now that's point number two. You're supposed to say, well, that was very nice, but I didn't get them anything based on your representations, and I don't think it would be fair for us to accept any gifts from them. But thank you. Tell them I said thank you anyway, and that's it, right? So you don't accept the gifts. The third issue that I'm having with you is, he's telling you to thank you for the gifts. You were supposed to cuss him out right then and say, motherfucker, what am I, 5? Well, you have to tell me what I need to do. I'm a grown woman. I know how to thank somebody for a gift. I don't need you nagging me like that. As a matter of fact, see, I don't have that kind of patience. I would have been throwing that shit at him. I'm telling you, I think I've calmed down and gotten a lot more cool-headed than I used to be, but stuff like this still sends me to the moon. And he would have become every kind of foul, funky thing I could have thought of. Because that just would have just like, I just would have flashed. Because I want to flash now, and it's not even happening to me. Okay, so then he, this little snarky video call thing. The final thing that really gets on my case, I don't want to get on your case about, is he told you something, right? Adult to adult. Why would you go and tell your minor child all that drag drama and adult BS? Why would you do that? See, you're one of those kind of mothers that tells too much to their kids. You tell your kids everything. Kids don't need to know everything that's going on in adults' world. It upsets them. It makes them anxious, and it makes them depressed. And you're mouthing off. Your kids are not your friends, chick. Your kids are not your friends. You tell your grown adult female friends that kind of stuff if you want to, but you never tell your children stuff like that involves your partner, your husband, your mother, father. They know those are adult relationships. Leave kids out of them. I find so many women do that. It just drives me crazy. They just make their kids like their confidants, and that's so inappropriate. Get your ass some adult friends. Write in a damn journal. Don't be bending your kids' ear and laboring their little minor souls with your trashy shit that you got going on with other adults. That is just so inappropriate. It's just rude, and it's foul, and it's inappropriate. It ruins the children. It makes them unnecessarily fearful and anxious. And you're doing that to them. And then you wonder why they have to be at a shrink at 14. Because you've been dumping on them all this time, telling them shit that they're going to go and worry about because they don't have the emotional capacity to handle it. Neither do you, obviously, because you dumping on a kid. It's just terrible. So many women do that. Okay, so this thing, your daughter doesn't want to wear the gifts or play with them or whatever it is, because you never did say how old she is. But my thing is this: as her mother, I would go and I would buy her some stuff to replace those that I bought, right? And I would put that shit in a box, and I would give it back to him and tell him to shove it all up his big, wide, noisy, loudmouth ass. That's what I would do. You asked me what I would do, that's what I would do. Because one thing you are not going to do is put my child in a trick bag. That's unacceptable. We're not going to do that. And you trying to nag at my baby? Motherfucker, I will end you. Okay, you do anything to hurt my child, it's over. And so me seeing all of this that you let go on, where this man was harassing and bothering and pressing and nagging at your child, and you did not do anything to protect her, you a raggedy ass bitch. Now, that's all I got to say. You just gonna let this motherfucker harass your daughter like that? And then you join in, well, call her and this and that. Nah. This letter right here just irritates the fuck out of me. I was gonna try to watch my language and not cuss, but this kind of mother is the kind that you just putting this man and his feelings above your child's feelings, and I'm not feeling it. I don't like it, not one bit. Okay. Question number 4. You know what it is. Anything to do with a kid, that I'm just instantly on fire. Our job is to protect children. Okay, not to just add to their stress and strife. They have enough drama just trying to dodge these perverts and stuff we didn't have to think about going. We could actually play outside and go to the park by ourselves. You can't let your kids do that now. You will never see your child again. These people are just weird, okay? And then you got one that you calling yourself dating, and you let him harass and harangue your child, and you don't step in and intervene and shut that shit down. You just a stupid bitch. I'm sorry, just some just dick hungry, just stupid bitch. And I just cannot be bothered with women like that. It's just so awful. And the little girl, oh. Anyway, let me talk about something else. Question number 4, female 28 to 34 from Oxnard, California. I'm 33 and a female. My husband is 36. We have been married for 8 years. I guess you do have to say what gender it is these days, don't you? At first, we were both sure that we didn't want any kids, and I found out that I wasn't physically able to carry children, so that was that. We talked about adoption or surrogacy, but we both decided that we were okay being child free. My husband works in the medical field. His job requires a lot of long hours, overnight shifts, and travel, especially the last 2 years. This is why I did not notice him carrying on multiple affairs behind my back, which resulted in 2 children with 2 different women and another child on the way. I found this out because the parent of the pregnant woman contacted me since their daughter's only 19. Wait a minute. And he's 36 and still lives with them, though he insists she told him she was 24 and that her university apartment was hers. My husband has been giving all of these women money from an account I wasn't even aware that he had. And the amount of lying and secrecy and deceit that went into all of this is what astounds me the most. When I confronted him, he just sort of accepted that I was going to leave him, like he knew it was going to happen eventually. And that makes me think he wanted to end the marriage but just couldn't do it himself. I know what I should do, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I haven't spoken to him since I confronted him and I told him to get out. I have no idea where he is. I can't even think straight. I don't know how many other women there were or if this is the worst of it or if I'll ever really find out the truth. What should I do? I need instructions so I can actually do something. Go to the bank tomorrow. Draw out half or slightly more because actually all the money that he's been giving those women, that's your money because that was his part of his half. He spent his half on them chicks. So really, I would just take all the money, right? Because, that would have to make up for the part that he gave away to all the women. Okay, so I would do that and I would put in a separate account with my name on it. And then I would go to an attorney and I would say, look here, this is what happened. And what can I do? I want to keep my house. I want to keep my cars. I want to keep my money. I want to keep my lifestyle. He's the one that fucked up, not me. So I don't see why I should have to suffer. And then you make that magic happen. But that's what you do. You go to the bank. If that's the thing about it. See, if you don't be thinking about, you don't think, because the second before you threw him out, before you even confronted him, you were supposed to go to the bank. Now, it's because the reason is because he had a separate account, right? So you don't even know how much money he was putting in it. You can, once you get divorced, you can subpoena the bank and get the records for it. And then that amount, whatever that is, half of that amount he was giving it over to all the women, that's money he has to give back to you because that was your money. So this is very interesting. But yeah, you need to do that first and then get you an attorney. Get a good one. Get the most vicious shark that you can find. Somebody that, has as much social pull as a physician does. And then stick it to him because he deserves it. Multiple affairs and the kids and another one on the way. He wasn't even like, that Nerly, that's a given, but she knows that. She just doesn't know what to do. So, it's like separating from somebody requires, and somebody who's done you dirty like that, she's still in emotional shock. So she's reeling. That's why she needs instructions. And so, that's what she's looking for. Poor thing. Question number 5. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've been dating my girlfriend for 7 months. Awesome connection, like soulmates. I've always been faithful and loyal in every relationship I've ever been in, even when I was the one getting cheated on. This is where it gets interesting. I have three best friends, all of them of all different ethnicities, and they're all female. I've known two of them about 11 years and the other one for 16 years. One is lesbian, one is a sister from another mother, and the other one lives on the other side of the world. Every time one of us was having a hard time in life, we talked to and were there for each other and discussed all kind of things. Never were lines crossed in any way, and it was never romantic. My current girlfriend had a profile on the same social media website, and I added her because she's my girlfriend. Scrolling through my page one day, she ends up scrolling years back, sees old posts with my friend, and immediately gets jealous and insecure. Even though it was silly, I thought it would genuinely bother her, so I explained everything, including our entire past and how we've always spoken to each other, offered to show her all of our previous conversations, and I said that she's always been a friend, been there for me even when no one else was. The girlfriend says, I don't care what you guys are. I'm not comfortable with you having someone in your life like that, regardless of how long you long are. Okay, she her ass been on the scene 7 months. Like if you was birthing a baby, she would be premature right about now. Okay, I reassured her that I was being honest, I won't cheat, and even offered all of my logins and access to my emails and phone, and she refused. Turned into an argument where she was yelling, screaming, and cussing me out over the phone. And then she says it's either her or me. So this is he's talking, just in case you're confused, he's talking about the friend that lives on the other side of the world. I got aggravated and said that's not fair at all. Why should I go someone that has never done anything wrong and would never cross any lines or disrespect my relationship? So you want me to abandon this person in a cruel way because of your insecurity? And the girlfriend says, well, I guess I have my answer. F you then, bitch. Then hangs up on me. Wow. This was 1 month into the relationship. And did you made it 6 more months after someone talked to you like that? Okay. Deb, I really care for my girlfriend, so I basically ghosted the friend. I feel like a huge POS because I know that was wrong and cowardly, and now I carry the guilt. The girlfriend and I started talking again, and she kept asking me what was wrong and why I was distant now. And I said, are you surprised? Really? She knew what was wrong and refused to even listen to anything I had to say about it, and then had the nerve to ask me what was wrong? She spent the next 6 months breaking up with me, saying, well, just go crawling back to her because she's waiting for you, and I know you will anyways. The people that know me and know what's been going on have heard the recordings and seen the messages, and everyone has asked me, why do you let this woman treat you like this? My response is, I just want one that will love me and not lie to me or cheat me or use me. So then he goes into more stuff and whatever. Okay. Am I stupid and less of a man for staying and going through this? Am I really allowing myself to be belittled just because I want to be loved? I asked for it, so let her rip. At this point, I'm willing to listen to anything. Don't entice me like that. We do have a strong connection that I feel is worth hanging on to, but if it's going to stay like this, I'm not so sure. 7 months in, and she calls herself my wife and me her husband, and loses her mind if I ever say anything less. It just seems very controlling, manipulative, and narcissistic to me. I don't know what you need to see, sir, to know that this woman is just all fucked up in the head. Who does that? This kind of stuff that she did. Why would you let someone talk to you like that? Call you a bitch and then you stay with her? See, I call men little bees when I really have no respect for them at all and never will care if I see them again. Don't care if Godzilla and Mothra and everybody come and swoop them up and drop them into a volcano. I can think of all kind of things I would like to see happen to them. None of them involves being with me. Okay, so you having a woman who you let talk to you like that, you couldn't possibly think and demand that you let go of a friend that you've had for 16 years, and you do it because she says so. You're a dummy. And I'm telling you, it's like you don't have no kind of nuts at all. This girl does not respect you at all. Your best bet would be to cuss her out and tell her to get out of your life. At least that way, when she leaves, she would have a little bit of respect for you. Right now, she's telling you what to do. You doing it. It's just like you've been knowing her for 7 months, and you've changed your whole life, and now she's making your social circle and your support system small, which is what abusive people do. They want to be the only person that you have in your circle so that they can control your whole life. And you're letting her do that. Your best bet, sir, would be to dump her. But since you magically seeing it as like, your soulmate and all this old romantic bullshit, then chances are you just gonna stay and stay and stay and stay until she totally dogs you out to the ninth degree, and then you'll finally wake up. He ain't gonna fire her because he's sprung. Question number 6, female 18 to 20 from Birkenhead in the UK. So here's the situation, Deb. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to go out for a drink with my friends. And while we were all being together in this pub, someone invited this pretty good looking guy that I heard about before, but we never officially met until that moment. We met, started talking, and we were overall having a great time. We're both 20 years old, if that matters. Oh, you can go in pubs I guess at 18, huh? After a couple of hours, we decided to continue to party in the garage of one of our friends' house. There was some alcohol involved, but not too much. At one point, I started dancing with him, and I noticed that we were both flirting the whole night. Eventually, we ended up making out, and since another friend was driving us home, we were sitting in the back seat, and his hand was on my leg the whole time. We continued texting, and we saw each other one more time since he lives in another city now. We heard each other today and agreed to go out tomorrow night. I'm attracted to this guy, and I can't help but flirt when I'm around him. There's also quite a bit of sexual tension, but I'm not sure if I should have with him or not. I'm a bit scared of what he will think about me if we have this soon, but at the same time, he made it clear how he isn't looking for a relationship at the moment. I would really appreciate any opinion on what to do. Keep your legs closed. That's what you do. I mean, because see, this is the thing right here. This is why I say that you are already too wrapped up in this guy, and you putting all this on it, and you haven't even gone on a date with him yet. By the time he takes you out on a date and flirts some more and touches you in the right spot, you're gonna lose your mind. And then if he's like quite the player and he knows his way around a woman's body because he had a whole bunch of practice, then he's gonna have you, calling for Jesus and all kind of stuff. And then you're gonna be looking for this boy in the daylight with a flashlight, sprung and all fucked up. So seeing as how this is already putting you in a position of riskiness and you haven't even kissed him. Well, I guess you maybe did because you said you were making out. But, nothing intimate has happened. But if that's on the agenda and you do it, your mind is too weak. You cannot handle it. And he's already told you he's not looking for a relationship. What does that mean? I'll fuck, but I'm not trying to be committed to you. So don't be mad when you want to get together and I'm busy with Tina or Chantrice or Lisa or Roberta or Becky, Brenda, Sharon, Markeisha, all of them, okay? He gonna be busy. That's what he's telling you. And you gonna be sprung over a man that is not trying to be with you. I'm just saying, I just came with the first names that came to my mind. It wasn't none of y'all's names. But that's where you're headed. I'm telling you, don't go out with him. Cease to call him. Stay away from him. It's just like the dusty dude. Remember the one I was telling y'all about? That planted that kiss on me and made me see stars and moons and green clovers and pink hearts like a Lucky Charms thing. I knew that was no. I wasn't trying to be that chick. So I, put space between us, and that's, young lady, what you need to do. Question number 7, female 22 to 27 from Oakland. She's a Scorpio. The other person is 57 to 65 and a Pisces. Hi, Deb. I have 2 aunties. One of them I live with along with my mother. This past Christmas, I have been very sick and with a terrible cold and flu. My auntie Anne made it abundantly clear to everyone in the house that she did not want my auntie Eve. Okay, so you live with auntie Anne, and Eve is the one who does. Okay. She didn't want my auntie Eve coming over for Christmas because she's loud and messy. She said she didn't want her to have any food that she made and to even come at all. Oh, something went down. Now, fast forward to Christmas Day. I am still really sick and sleeping most of the day. I wake up to an angry text message from my auntie Eve saying how we are all trifling and foul for not wanting her to come over and get a plate, that we have karma for not answering the phone. I tried to tell her I was asleep and I don't know what she's talking about. She also said that I am messy for putting a Merry Christmas message to everyone on Facebook, but not calling her to tell her Merry Christmas, and said that she won't be talking to me anymore. What I don't understand is why she's blaming me because her sister doesn't want her to come over. And why should I have to call her and tell her Merry Christmas? She didn't call anybody to tell us Merry Christmas, but she's mad that we didn't call her. And she didn't even say anything to my auntie Ann or my mom. She only came after me. And she said that I'm going to get karma and texted me talking about thanks for nothing. I just don't understand. I can't believe she's acting like this. And I really can't believe I'm getting the blame for this. Should I block her and cut her off? I don't know what to do. She has started talking about me behind my back to anybody that will listen. Oh, really? What is going on here? Who gives a shit? This is what you're gonna do. She's like talking about she sees what you post on social media. That's where you go. Was this on Facebook? Oh yeah, yeah. Message everyone on Facebook. Okay, so you're gonna post a message on Facebook and you're gonna tag her. You know, you do that little the at sign, or you if it's a picture, you tag that person's name to make sure that she sees it. And you recount, I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. Lo and behold, my Auntie Ann called and tried to light me up because my auntie, whatever, auntie, whatever her name is, because Auntie Ann didn't want her over to her house. Now, I live with Auntie Ann. This is Auntie Ann's house. I don't make any decision about what goes on in Auntie Ann's house. But for some reason, Auntie Eve wants to, try to come after me like I'm the decision maker for this residence. You know why she's doing that? Because she's a little bitch. She's weak and she don't. So rather than go after the person and deal with the hell that she knows she would get from Auntie Ann, she tries to come after me, sick in the bed kid that don't have nothing to do with nothing. So I just want to correct everything. So in case people was out there, she's giving you a dialogue that's not true. This is what has happened. I've been sick with the flu in the bed. I don't know what's happening. I haven't been eating nothing. I don't call nobody. I've been sick and sleeping. But suddenly, this is what I wake up to. And I just wanted everybody to know the truth. And so if anybody has any questions about what happened there, please reach out to Auntie Ann. Because like I said, it's Auntie Ann's house. And Auntie Ann makes the decisions about who eats her food and comes up in her house, not me, the end. That's what you do. So, you just do, humdulillah out the situation. And you drop that little bomb. And then after you know that she's seen it, you block her. Block her on your phone. You can block on your phone first because Facebook, is not connected to blocking on her phone. Which who calls you, that's a separate block. And then once you know that she's seen it, because she's going to try to respond back or say something, and she's going to get your block feature on your phone, and then she won't be able to do that. And so you make sure then after that you go and you block her on Facebook too. So she can't respond to you there either. That's what you do. And it's going to really drive her crazy. But you know what? That's what she gets. So coming after you like that. But see, she didn't know you have a secret weapon, which is me. Queen bitch of the world. So that's how you do that. And then you just tag everybody. Everybody in your family, just put everybody's name on there. Just to make sure everybody gets an alert so everybody can come and click that thing and see that story. And be like, oh, Auntie Eve is just flipping out and tripping. No, I'm the petty auntie in my family. I'm not even. Well, yeah, I do have a couple of nieces and nephews from one of my older half sisters, but I never see them. It's just like that sometimes. Okay, question number 8. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from New Jersey, and she's an Aries. Deb, I need advice. It has to do with my parents and medical concerns. I'll keep it short. Thank you. I'm 20 and I'm still on my parents' insurance. My dad has a good plan, which I'm on until age 25. My parents never believed any medical concerns, and I pushed to have something seen because it was getting really bad. I went and got referred to a specialist, and my parents are screaming at me and don't want to hear it, despite me having a diagnosis which needs testing. I'll skip the details, but it's a neurological issue which resulted in headaches, dropping face, and worsening disturbance and pains in my eyes. This is why I'm getting referred, and I won't get too specific, but I know you're very well versed in many topics, and I feel lost. I know I have to see a neurologist and won't be using my parents' insurance, but are there any ways I can somehow finance this? I know those appointments uninsured are expensive, and I have no right to my parents' insurance, but this is the situation I'm in. To be honest, I'm a whole grown woman, but I have no idea how to do any of this stuff, let alone be on my own. This has shaken me, and the symptoms I have are almost all internal, and my family won't buy it. Please help me. First of all, once you are on an insurance policy, you have that insurance card, unless they take you off that insurance policy, you have every right to go and get any treatment that you want to. There's going to be a copayment involved, then you would be responsible for that. If you do not have the money for that, then you go to every state. Here is California's Department of Health and Human Services. I don't know what it is, what it might be called in New Jersey, but I'm sure there's something along those states, the same you know, they all tend to have kind of similar names. You reach out to York County Department of Social Services. They usually have a department for kids, which is, children and family services. And then they have the adult services, which includes like food stamps, Section 8, medical care, subsidies, clinics, referrals, all kind of stuff. Because there was a point like in my life when I was like, I had to stop being a trainer, right? Because I had wrecked my back and I was going through my savings. It was like the worst time of my life. And then out of all of that, I needed I needed surgery. I got the older brother, the little kid that I'm going to see this week. His brother threw a little metal car and it popped me in the eye and detached my retina. So I needed emergency eye surgery to the tune of like $75,000. And so I had to go through, the county social services, and they paid for it. Had like one of the best surgeons in the area. I mean, it was great results. I see. I mean, it's still a little bit blurry, but I still, versus having no vision at all, which is what I would have faced. So I'm telling you, I know for a fact that things happen. Shit happens, and sometimes you need a little assistance. And you're like, maybe not you, but your parents have been working for decades and they have put money into these funds. So now that it's your turn, you need some assistance. It's not, people like to say, well, these are entitlement programs. The hell they are. I worked my ass off to put money in. I've been working since I was 16. So that $75,000, it was a drop in the bucket for what I've paid over the last 30, 40 years, okay, of working. So I'm looking at, you need to go there. Call them and ask them if they have any kind of medical assistance programs for young adults, special program for young adults who are not independent yet. You just make every call that you can, every number they give you, every referral that they to any kind of clinic where you can get some help. You call them, you're going to stay on the phone, you're going to be on the internet. Okay? Medical assistance for, I don't know, students or something. I mean, start with there, or medical assistance in New Jersey, assistance with medical treatment, some kind of keyword search like that. In every kind of agency, even a nonprofit agency or government related agency should pop up, and you start clicking and calling until you get the help that you need. It is ridiculous that you have to sit there and worry about how to pay for something when you on your parents' insurance. And I dare them to try to leave you in a situation where you don't have any coverage, because now that's a lawsuit. And I will help you find an attorney to file one too. Department of Economic Security. Well, she's in New Jersey, so if anybody, right? She's in New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey, but she doesn't say where in New Jersey, just in New Jersey. But if anybody knows anything about New Jersey, specifically, what the name of this um, kind of, the agency that she would go to, what the name of the organization might be, what division, what part of the state, what part of the county, then please make a comment either in the chat room or underneath the video after the show is over, so she can go back and look at it and get on her way. So unfortunately, with neurological problems, the longer you have them, the worse they get. So you need to start getting treatment right away. Question number 9, female, 22 to 27, no location provided. Hi, Miss Deborah. I wanted your advice on something. I'm a 27-year-old West Indian who's lived with her mom her entire life. She loved, helped, and supported me my entire life, and I can't repay her enough. But I'm sick of living with her. Yeah, I guess so. At almost 30, I feel like I've become too reliant on her for everything, and I'm not growing. I do pay part of the rent and bills, but sorry, this is 2 pages. But I would like to get out my own space in the future. She speaks about how the Black community doesn't come together to build and have property of our own. We had discussed getting a house and living in different suites, but I want my own separate place away from her to do what I see fit without anybody else's input. I've already come up with an ultimatum that if we don't find a suitable place for both of our needs by the end of next year, I will just go off on my own and accept full responsibility that comes with it. But my question is to you. What would be a good way to respectfully discuss this with her? I'm trying to figure out why you feel responsible for your mother. So you 27, that means she can't be that old. It's not like she's in her 80s or something and on the downstroke to the casket or something. I mean, she's young and still in the workforce and all kind of stuff. She can still date. She can still go around and find her man to be living with and all this kind of stuff here. She doesn't need to be dependent on you for all your companionship and her everything. That's just inappropriate. That's overburdening you with responsibility. The thing that I would do is I would sit down with her, and you gave her a year. I wouldn't even have done that. I just said, Mom, I think, it's important for me to feel like I'm an adult. And for me to feel like an adult, I need to be on my own. I can't live with mommy forever and have you taking care of me and stuff like I'm a child. It's just really not helping me grow up at all. I know you're doing it out of love, but that love is stifling me as a person, as an adult. I need to break free of you. I'll still come and see you and we'll talk on the phone and all of that. It's not like I'm going away, forever, but I do need to be away from you. We need space from each other. I need that space to spread my wings and become the woman that I want to be, the woman I see myself becoming. And I can't do it here. It can only be one woman of a house. I can't be the woman here. I have to have my own place. And that's what you say. Yeah, she's trying to, but be prepared for her to try to guilt trip you and all this kind of stuff. But you're gonna have to stand firm and then make your move. Your best bet is probably to move into a shared space first, since you're not used to living on your own. A shared space where you and some other single young lady around your age have a 2-bedroom apartment, something like that, right? The kind where you have your own bathroom or the ideal, like 2 master suites, and then you guys share the kitchen and the living room space. That's perfect setup. So it's like a transition away from your mother, but not completely independent yet. Do that for a while, I don't know, 6 months to a year, then move into your own space. It's kind of a gradual process because it might be a bit of a shock for you since you're almost 30 years old and you've never lived alone. That's my concern. But it would give you some of the independence and you start getting your feet wet. You start paying all your own bills, doing your own cooking, shopping, being responsible for yourself in a situation where you still have a little bit of backup. Like if you get sick, somebody can buy you medicine or something. You guys can support each other while you transition to the next phase. That's what I think is a good idea. But that's what you got to tell her. There can only be one woman of a house, and as long as you're in the house with her, you're gonna always be the child, and that's not what you envision for yourself. And when you put it like that, I think she'll get it. Okay. Question number 10. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Huntsville, Alabama, and he says he's a Virgo. I dated a Virgo guy one time. Once was enough. Are there women who will genuinely like and be interested in dating a guy but won't ask him out, won't text him first, and expect him to initiate everything? Like she actually does like him, but unless he makes a move every time, then nothing will ever happen? Well, sir, I'm trying to figure out why you think it's a woman's job to ask you out, text you first, and to initiate everything. If she's doing all of that, then that makes her the man, which makes you what? The little bitch. So pick one, pick a side. Do you want to be the man or do you want to be the little bitch? Okay, because you a grown ass man and you sitting up there asking women to pick a date with you and ask you out and all this old stuff here, that makes you look like a wuss. Okay, and all these dudes that want this kind of treatment, I'm telling you, you just don't even understand how women just can't stand you. You lose all signs of masculinity when you act like that. You just become a little bitch. And unless she's lesbian, she's not really into other women. Okay? And even if she is a lesbian, she wants a woman who's actually a woman, not you. So either way, you're going to be ass out. You can't be with a man because you're not gay. And you can't be with a woman because you act like a little bitch. So you're going to be alone, in the dark. You and Pamela, and Five Finger Mary, partying away. That's it. That's going to be the extent of your fun. Yeah, it's a big turn off. They don't even realize how much of a turn off it is. To sit there and it's like these dudes are so feminized. It's just not even funny. How can you have men who are so effeminate walking around here trying to act like women? And do you think women are going to be attracted to you? You're a little bitch, sir. Get you some nuts and do something with yourself. You see a girl you want to talk to her and stuff, you've been in class with her, worked in a work group with her or something, and now the work group's coming to an end and you want to get something rolling because, you guys going to be graduating, so it won't be no big deal and problem where everybody trying to be in your business. Then you say, hey, let's get together. I would like to get to know you outside of class. What do you say? What you got going on Friday evening after 5 o'clock? Oh, nothing. Nothing. What do you want to do? And then you got yourself a date, but you got to get some that fucking balls. I swear. What's wrong with these dudes? They just don't have no. I see what you wrote, Michelle. Michelle, that's funny. They just don't have no nuts, just no testosterone, no manliness edge to them, just like little wimps, and it's just like, ugh. It's the difference between eating like cheesecake and cornmeal mush. Which one would you rather have? Okay. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group out of Canada, and she is a Capricorn. She says, hey, Deb. I'm a 27-year-old ex-Muslim woman of East African descent. I left Islam a year ago at 26. Congratulations. I feel like so much of my life has passed me by while I was trying to uphold stupid misogynistic rules of Islam. I spent the last year figuring out what my values are and what I want for myself. I've always known I never wanted kids or marriage. Seems like too much work. However, I would like to casually date and have lovers. I started having intimacy earlier this year, and I can't believe I've abstained for so long. Oops. Hold on. I took the wrong page. It's fantastic. I also learned I can easily separate eggplant from emotions, which seems to be common for ISTP-MBTI. Oh, I guess that's some personality trait things. One man kind of sucked in bed. His movement pattern was awful and he finished quickly. Another was too clingy and he called me cold and began texting me less. So I blocked and replaced him. Good job. Then he texted again from another phone number I didn't recognize to tell me I'm not feminine enough and too cold. Oh, and you didn't text me back? No, it's just that I have more nuts than you, sir. How do I figure out which men will be good in bed? How do I avoid clingy men who want you to care about them? Why do men I'm just enjoying want me to care about them? Thanks to you. Okay, let's start with the last question first. Why do men that you're just enjoying want you to care about them? Because it gives them power. If you are a woman who just wants to fuck and you don't really give a shit about him or what he's doing or where he's doing it or how often he does, you don't care. He's there in your life for one thing. They can't handle it. Their egos cannot handle it. They need to feel like they're being chased and like women just killing themselves to get with them and all this kind of stuff. And if you tell them, especially if they really bad at it and you throw them out your bed, they just really just never get over that. They just don't know what to do with themselves. That's why when you care more than they do, it gives them power. You set up a dynamic where the script is flipped and they don't know what to do with that. Okay, it hurts their feels. Your second question was, how do I avoid clean men who want you to care about them? There's no way to know that in advance because some of the ones that present to be the most cold, the most street and all that kind of stuff, if they catch feelings, it's over. They become them the ones though that will get to the point where they care so much they start stalking you and all that stuff, and you be looking at them like you look like the quintessential thug type, the persona that they portray in all the TV movies and the rapper videos and stuff. They have that look, but inside they're a marshmallow and weak and dependent and needy. All of that other stuff is a front. And then you got the guys who really are that way and they look that way. And then you just never know. And it's a lot of it, I think it just depends on the woman. She might touch him in a way that nobody else ever has. So if with this woman, he's weak and fragile, whereas everybody else he really didn't give a shit about. So he was able to, just be casual. And the first question was, how do you figure out which men will be good in bed? Good luck with that. Because, there's a couple of things that you can see. I feel like guys who are very athletic, I don't mean football, using things that involve speed and agility, basketball players, soccer players, things that require coordination, speed, and agility tend to, I'm not going to say guarantee, tend to be better lovers than other guys. Um, they're more in tune with their body. They listen to their body so they can listen to yours too. Does that mean that they're always going to do that? No, it does not. They can be just as much of a jerk as anyone else. But the odds are better. Also, a way that a guy eats has always been a cue for me. I hate them dainty ass eater men that, point their pinky out when they eat and cut everything all delicately with a knife and fork and take like one little morsel of food at a time. And then they're back to cutting and morsel, cut morsel. No, no, no. I want you to go after your food like a fucking savage. Like you eating a brontosaurus rib and you Fred Flintstone or somebody. That's what I want to see you eat. If you know a man who would do that, he's got that kind of gusto about his food. He gonna have that kind of gusto about you too. I likes that shit. Don't be coming at me being all dainty and delicate. It ain't that kind of party. I likes that. Mm-hmm. Your boyfriend's a basketball player. That's what I'm talking about, Tay. I bet you Tay be grinning all over the place too. Just be Tay. Hi, my name Tay Lovely. Yes, those are good signs. That's the signs he's good out of bed, but that doesn't mean he's going to be good in bed. Because some guys, okay, so I'm telling myself, they do that part well, but what's missing is the stamina. They can't hang. I see you up there giggling, Tay. Tay know it's true. Tay know it's true. I done seen you, Tay. But but anyway, what I'm basically saying is that there's really no guarantee that any of this stuff. These are just, things you can look for. Because if a guy's very awkward in his body, his movement patterns are weird, he's got a weak upper body, that means he can't hold the position long. His glutes are saggy or weak or flat. That means he don't have no stroke game. Now that I can tell you that. You want a guy who's got well-defined glutes, which means that his pelvic floor and his glutes and all of that are strong and well developed. So I'm telling you, like dudes whose pants sag in the back, don't fuck with them. They don't have no stroke game at all. None. You will be mad. Everything will be over in like 30 seconds. Saggy glutes, I'm telling you, Keith, I'm telling you, as a ex-trainer, I'm telling you, look for right. You look for the strong pelvic muscles. Them dudes that can make it dance, that's what you want. Wait, I'm going a little too far. But you know what? I've seen them, they can like make, they'd be sounding out beats and shit. That's what I'm talking about. Diana using my word. Unacceptable. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Yeah. Hoppin' John. That's what Hoppin' Johns with black eyed peas and rice. Girl, Diana, she was just been in California way too long. I know, but I'm just telling you, make what dance, Josie, like you don't know? Okay, Josie, start at the waist. What do men have below the waist and above the knees that women don't have? That's what's dancing. Okay? And it be going, and you can make it pop to the beat. Okay, that's what you want. You got a motherfucker who can do some shit like that. I'm all over that. Well, these days the good dudes is waxing their leg hair and back hair and everything. It's just gross. It's like, why you want to walk around looking like that? They don't want to have no manly look about them. They just want to. Yeah, see, this letter's having a bad influence on me, but it's just making me have memories. Yeah, you got a guy who's got some strong glutes. So, all you young men listening, if you look in the mirror and your booty, your pants is sagging in the back instead of having some round definition in the butt muscles, get your ass to the gym and do something with yourself. You sit down too much. You sit on the couch too much, playing too many video games. Start doing some walking lunges and shit. Do some deadlifts. Do something with yourself. and then work on your pelvic floor muscles, and then you might have women calling you for repeat performance. But if your shit is raggedy, if you do it with her one to two time and then she don't want you to come back, that means your shit was you. Yeah, your shit's raggedy. That's what that means. Sorry. Yes, Diana, girl, Diana, you hang out with me, I'll teach you all kind of shit that you don't really need to know. All kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, but it's like, because it's like as you get older, see, things change because, people have been married and some men, physically don't have the look, but they still have the skills. They have a dad bod. And that's something I've had to accept as I'm in that age group myself. So there's just so much to this. It would require like hours and hours of analysis and lecture. So let's move on. Question 12. I spent way too much time on that. Female, 20 to 34, age group from Houston. She's a Sagittarius with a male in the same age group, 28 to 34. Hi, Auntie Deb. It's been a while. I wrote in about a year ago, but that's not related to why I'm writing now. I become one of the Black women that has opened their eyes to realize that men that look like me carry no value as far as their words and actions, regardless of their status. I've come to understand that Black male worship is a pathology most Black women were born into. And now that I have come out of it, I realize I am more than deserve better. Oh, she read it. I realize I more than deserve better. No more holding on to the great white hope that a Black man is going to come along and be the man I need him and expect him to be. Because honestly, none of them have no expectation for themselves and will tell you not to have any for them. Yet, honey, you in Houston, I can testify to that. But my question is concerning divesting. So I just tried to date a white Russian man, and in conversation, he mentioned that when he likes to smoke Mary J, it makes him horny, and he wants to eggplant right away. How does he now? So I tried to change the topic and say, oh, well, it makes me hungry and it makes me want to talk a lot. But instead, he keeps insisting that it makes him want to do something explicitly. And you stayed on the phone, we have a conversation. Before that, he kept saying how sexy I was to him and kept saying I'm so hot. So I was concerned what made him say that. So then I addressed him on why he said that and what would make him say something that way. And I told him that I don't want to assume, but I hope that you don't believe just because I'm Black that all it's going to take for me to lay with you is if you smoke with me. But instead of acknowledging that, he started to do like most men and started deflecting by saying that I'm being dramatic and he was just talking. But that was not the energy that I got from the situation. So I want to know is, how can a Black woman diverse without the stereotype that Black women have said about Black women controlling the narrative? Or would that just be up to me as a Black woman? Please help me, Auntie Deb. You're one of the wisest women I know on the internet, and I appreciate your presence here. Well, thank you for that compliment. And I'm going to say this. I don't give a fuck if he's green with pink polka dots. He's an asshole. See, the divesting, some of that mentality, that dating somebody who's not Black automatically makes that man better. I never have believed that at all. That's not the issue. You still have to vet the man. I don't care what color he is. This guy right here is a Dusty. He just happens to have a Russian accent. But he's a Dusty. He was approaching you like a dustmonger. Now, let's go over this, and I'm going to teach you how to screen men right quick, okay? So you're talking to him. You got said, okay, no. So he says, in conversation, he mentioned that when he likes to smoke Mary J, it makes him horny and he wants an eggplant right away. Now, at that point, you're supposed to say, I'm going to hang up now because, I don't know, were you guys on the phone? Whatever, just say it was on the phone, but no matter what kind of, where you were communicating, I'm sorry, I did jump to the conclusion that it was on the phone, but you could have been texting this, or it could have been, some other stream chat or whatever. Okay, so whatever it is, you say, you disrespectful fuck. I don't want to talk to a man that I don't even know about what's going on, in bedroom wise. Motherfucker, what makes you think that you would even make it to my bedroom? You tawdry piece of shit. Now, if you could have said, put it in Google Translator and put it into Russian and sent him that right quick so he could read it in his native tongue, that would have been even better. Okay, so but what you're doing, you still on the phone with him. You trying to change the subject. You're trying to use logic and reason and just wasting time. I keep telling you, young ladies, The only time that you have in this world is finite. You do not waste it on dusty bombs. You don't do that. Then you want to ask him what made him say that and stuff like you honestly didn't know. It's because he's trash. That's the only way that the trash man would say something like that to a complete stranger. He gonna be trying to teach you like a hoe. You still to be saying, well, yeah, that sounds really good, but I don't do anything like that for less than $5,000. So you other than that, you just wasted my time. Click. I mean, it just depends on how vulgar you want to get. Me, but you're young and you not me. So, but for you, the best thing for you to do would have been to just, escape off the phone after you told him a few choice words about himself. But me, I'm gonna play with him first. But you don't engage with men like this. You don't ask them questions. You don't try to justify your position. Then he gonna try to flip it around and say, "Well, I'm just talking." Yeah, but you talking some shit that don't nobody want to hear, motherfucker. You nasty, that kind of stuff. Because basically, he was very disrespectful to you. He was treating you like shit, talking to you like you were nothing, and you stayed on the phone or whatever. You stayed engaged with them. That's not how you do men who talk to you and treat you this way. You get away from them because he doesn't deserve your time or attention or energy. He just already shown himself to be an idiot, a disrespectful bitch ass punk. And so, that for me, I'm telling you, I would have said all kind of crazy stuff to him because that's how I do things. But you and I just want you to understand this kind of conversation directed at you is extremely disrespectful and is trash. Any man who would approach you this way is disrespectful and he is trash, and you don't talk to them. You don't worry about what they think. You don't ask them no questions about why they said the trashy shit that they said. Who gives a shit? It was trash. What does trash do? It stinks. It don't never stop stinking. Okay? It's still trash forever. Leave it alone. Question 13, female, 28 to 34 from London. My husband and I, we're both 33, are expecting our second child. The baby will be born via C-section because my first delivery was long and difficult. I'm considering getting my tubes tied right after the C-section since the two procedures can be combined seamlessly. However, my husband is strongly against it because he wants us to have at least one more child or at least keep that door open. In short, I've always wanted 2 children, but my husband wants at least 3. It's been his dream to have 3 kids since he was a child, and he wants it more than any career or financial accomplishment either of us could ever achieve. Before we got married, I made it clear to him that I can only promise to try for 2. He reluctantly accepted that, but possibly hoped that I'd change my mind. Years later, I have not. During that time, I have had a miscarriage, a difficult delivery with my wonderful first baby, and a rough second pregnancy. And I'll be having a C-section next year, which will probably mean another long recovery. I want to be done with pregnancy and birthing after this child is born. As for birth control, we've previously relied on the fertility awareness method and pulling out, alternating them in a way where it either method failed, we could get pregnant. That was an okay risk for me then, but I don't want a third child, so I don't want to keep rolling the dice. Regarding other options, I've had a bad reaction to birth control pills once, and I would like to avoid all hormonal birth control because of it. Yeah, I'm with you. I couldn't take that either. Also, my husband doesn't like condoms and doesn't want to use them regularly. I've heard too many horror stories about the copper IUD for me to be brave enough to try it. Would it be okay for me to proceed with getting my tubes tied against my husband's wishes, or would that only cause problems in our marriage? I'm going to say this. You worried about problems in your marriage when it could be problems with your life. These risks that you're having, these things could take you up out of here. Lady, you don't worry about him. You worry about living and being here for the 2 kids that you already have. Okay? He want to be talking, using you to birth this basketball squad or some shit that he want. Tell him to go and buy a baby. Like adoption, or go, buy one through the sperm, the what you call it, egg donor thing, or something like that. He can go do that. Get a surrogate to have his 3rd kid, but it's not going to be you. Okay, that's all you got to tell him. So but my thing is, this is your body. This is also your life and your health that we're talking about. So when you go in to get your, and HIPAA, well, where are you again? Where did you say you were? Hold on a second. I don't want to say. Oh, you're in London. I don't know if they have HIPAA laws, and I'm sure they have some form of what we call HIPAA here, but that makes your medical records confidential. Nobody will know anything about your medical situation. or medical treatment, medical condition, medical diagnoses, except for you and your treating physicians. Anytime you don't want, they're going to talk to you about something, you just tell your husband to leave the room. But the bottom line is you have them do that. And if you want to make sure that that it doesn't like reverse itself, you tell them to cut, tie, and burn. You need the three-prong approach, because a lot of times them little ties that they put on there become undone after some number of years, and then you magically turn up pregnant trying to figure out what happened. Question 14, female, 22 to 27, from Bristol, England. My boyfriend flatly refuses to get up in the morning, and it's causing us a lot of issues. We've been together for over 2 years. We're 25 and 26 respectively. While I'm writing this, we're with my family for the Christmas holiday. Oops. Why are these pages? This paper, I got this paper at Costco, and it keeps sticking together. Regardless of what my plans are, my family is making breakfast, a meal, etc., and saying that he's going to get up, but he will lay in the bed until at least noon. This has been a common theme throughout our relationship, and I've tried everything I can to think of to help. Stroking his back, taking breakfast in bed, asking nicely, and when I'm really pushed, shouting. I communicate to him many times that this upsets me, and whilst I love it, that he may be having a difficult time, I would really appreciate him spending time with me and my family, especially given that my father passed away suddenly in November. Eventually, it's just gotten to the point where I hate feeling like I'm nagging, so I give up. It really upsets me, and I feel like he's not at all even attempting to change or taking my feelings into account. I'm running out of ideas and options, and it's really contributing negatively to my mental health, which is already at rock bottom. Any advice on how to handle this situation would be great. Yes. You go to the sporting goods store and you get a canned sound blaster, that thing where you press it and it makes that loud sound like you hear at basketball games, that horn honking sound. You get one of those and you go in and you say, get up. The family is waiting for you. And then he doesn't get up. You pull that cap off, you press that button, and you blow his fucking eardrums out. And then you say, that's what's going to happen every time I tell you to get up and do something and you don't do it. Your ass is not going to be laying around here sleeping like you Cinderella or some shit, Sleeping Beauty. You're going to get the fuck up and start your day like a regular man. That's what's going to happen. If you don't like it, then you get the fuck out of my life, my house and my life. Which one do you want? You good, because this is over 2 days and you nagging him over. You nagging him about this, about waking up, and he's at your family's house with your mother who just buried her husband, and he shows this little respect. Oh, I would have dragged his ass. All of us would have went in there and pulled his ass off out of the bed and doused him with water or something like that. See, I'm not gonna. You're not gonna treat my mama like that. You're not gonna do that. And I'm just shocked that you let him get away with this kind of stuff. It's one thing you let him get away with it at your house where y'all live, but he coming to your mother's house, a recent widow. It's time, it's her first holiday without her husband, and this motherfucker staying in the bed all day, and you let him do it? Oh, hell to the no. I would have got my brothers, and we would have dragged that monkey motherfucker up out the bed, outside, butt naked, and doused him with ice cold water. Now, think about that. And don't try to even think you're going to try to go up against my three brothers. They will whoop your ass. So let's think about that. Yeah, the horn is great. The horn, I'm telling you. Yeah, he's an embarrassment, Amber. He's an absolute disrespectful embarrassment. But see, this is what I'm talking about these young girls, the stuff that they put up with. This, you're not going to treat my mother like that. Your ass needs to be up making her breakfast, asking her what she needs, helping clean the house and do nice things. Go buy her some flowers. Do something with her, rub her shoulders or something instead of laying in the fucking bed all day, showing such disrespect to my mother. We not just, no. I just don't understand these girls. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Where they do this at? I'm telling you, them bullhorns, them kind of just in a can, and you just press the button and go, bah! Really, really loud. It's crazy. That's what it'd be right. It'd be like this close to his ear. I bet you won't sleep through that shit. You get about 100 pounds of adrenaline in your bloodstream. You'll be awake for the next 3 days. Question number 15, male, 22 to 27, from Montreal, Canada. Dad, my girlfriend moved the majority of her belongings into my apartment while I was out of the country in the U.S. on a work trip. What? Just bogarted away up into your house? I asked her if she wanted to look after my plants and have a bit of freedom from her parents while I was gone, to which she was excited and agreed. But I came back to my apartment 2 weeks later and noticed it had been filled with the majority of her belongings, and a lot of my apartment reorganized to accommodate her. There was zero conversation about this happening. I told her this isn't right and that I want to break up due to the lack of respect and not even ask or communicate. She's not a kid, she's 21. We've been together for a year and a half. I've had two apartments in the time frame of our relationship. Okay. Huh. The biggest issue for me has been her lack of motivation to find employment or help me pay the rent. She also dropped out of university and has no idea what she wants to do for a job or career long term. I run my own business that currently supports my life necessities and lifestyle. It's been very stressful though, and unstable due to the nature of the business, creative client work. I have felt resentful in the past and currently over the fact that she has no desire to get a job or help me out with paying for things when I'm continually going through so much stress just to keep my business afloat during the pandemic. She couldn't afford to get her own place or move out with a roommate even if she wanted to. So I feel like I'm being way too much of a pushover in this situation. I've always had a big heart and issues walking away from people in the fear of hurting someone. However, after going through the trial and tribulations of running a business, I'm gaining thicker skin. What is all these wimpy ass men? I told her that I enjoy my private space and I needed it in order to keep up with running my business. Additionally, I told her I feel resentful over the fact that she expects me to devote so much time and energy to the relationship when she's around, yet I'm the only one capable of trying to support paying the bills for the necessities. She tries to justify her position by saying that she helps me clean and buys little things for the apartment. I feel as though I have a good thing going with my business where my focus is right now. My parents, who have a solid outside perspective, have also brought up the point that I don't need to be supporting someone who has no motivation to help themselves and taking on that additional stress while trying to focus on my career and balance my mental health. What do you suggest that I do? I suggest that you call over 3, 4, 5 of your friends with some, tell them bring boxes. You put all her shit in the boxes and you put it in their cars and you drive it over to her parents' house and you sit it outside their door. Then you guys get back in your car and then you go back to your house where you politely change the locks. Now, the reason why you need to do this is because most likely you gave her that key. She's probably made at least 10 copies by now, so you want to do that. You don't want to let her spend the night at your house anymore either. More likely, what you really should do is break up with this lady. I don't know if you're ready to do that though, the way you're talking, because that would have been me. Get your shit, get the fuck out and stay out of my life. I would start flinging her shit out the window. Because she's not on the lease. She didn't ask you to move in. There was no agreement to move in. She's what they call a squatter. So she has no rights. So you should have tossed her out that day, flung her shit out the door, and she could have called her parents to come and get it. But, the fact that she's not working, ain't trying to work, not going to school, ain't trying to go to school, and just wants to think she's going to be living at your house? Nah. I said, you good. Because she would have been out of my house the day I got back. And we've been, and I usually don't like it when guys call women names and stuff, but she would have deserved every kind of beat that she got on that conversation because of her trying to be slick. You don't disrespect somebody like that. That's your house. She would really got upset if you walked in there with some other woman, which is another thing you could do. Say, well, I have a new girlfriend, get out. She has a job and she's trying to do something with herself. She's not a sponge like you. Get the fuck out and don't ever come back. Stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just mean. Yeah, these squatters, but if a woman does, like, basically what she's being is a homosexual, but she's a female. Hobosexual? I mean, I don't know what the difference is. Hobosexualette? Hobosexualina? Put that feminine tilt to it. She just dusty. Question 17, female, 28 to 34, out the UK. I was halfway out the front door carrying something large and bulky when I heard our 8-year-old cry out, clearly frightened and distressed. He's choking, he's choking. And I could hear our 5-year-old making a choking sound. I wasn't too alarmed as they were in the quite small back room with my husband, who is his work's first aider, so whatever that means. So I knew he could handle it, giving me 2 seconds to put what I was carrying down. But as I did this, I heard my son again, clearly frightened out of his mind. Help, help, he's choking, he's choking. I could still hear the younger one making choking sounds, and I couldn't hear my husband at all. So I ran to the room that they were in, and there I saw the 5-year-old on all fours, face down, with a piece of regurgitated orange in front of him, and our 8-year-old sitting rigid and upright with his eyes the size of saucers, looking utterly distressed and terrified. Wow, she has a career as a writer. And there's my husband literally sitting at his desk just 1 meter away from the 5-year-old with his back to the kids doing some work on his laptop. Isn't a meter about a yard in our kind of math? I comfort the kids and then say to the husband, who still has not turned around at all and clearly has not at any point, and say, "Did you not hear our son? Did you not hear how frightened he was?" And I just thought they were messing around, says husband. So I repeat, "Answer me honestly, because you generally not hear in his voice how terrified he was." "No," said husband. "I thought they were just messing around." Any fool would have heard that this was a child who was generally alarmed and frightened. How good an actor does he think our 8-year-old is? And how good an actor does he think our 5-year-old is that he can mimic choking like that? And why wouldn't you even turn around to check? That's not normal, is it? I have long realized that my husband has serious issues with a very limited ability to empathize with others, but this has shocked me, and I didn't realize that there was much left about him that could shock me. Why on earth wouldn't a normal protective parenting instinct have kicked in? What in the world should I do? I would document this situation. Make sure you write down everything, because you're going to need this when you get a divorce, to make sure that they have supervised visitation. Because this is going to be a situation where, this happened right there. Luckily, you were in the house, but what would he do if he had an unsupervised visitation and some other emergency happened and your child died in his custody? That's how you're going to make them have supervised visitation when you get your divorce. He probably won't even want visitation anyway. But, you're saying, wouldn't a normal protective parenting instinct have kicked in? Absolutely, but your husband doesn't have that. You don't give a fuck about them kids. He was just so unconcerned, just so unbothered, even after he noticed what happened. And, I hate to hear about things about people choking on an orange, because that's how my dad died. And this, I'm triggered, okay? I'm triggered. That's how he died, eating an orange and breathed it in and couldn't get it out. For many, many, many years, I did not eat an orange. I still have trouble with it. Isn't that weird? I have a couple of them on my table in the fruit bowl right now, and they probably will mold over before I eat them. I just can't, I don't know. Every time I look at one, I just think about him. It's very difficult. So in this particular instance, and also to avoid this, again, teach your children the Heimlich maneuver. Teach your oldest one the Heimlich maneuver. Teach your youngest one the Heimlich maneuver. When one time I was choking on a piece of rice cake. My daughter was about that age, 8, 9 years old, and I was choking. I made that universal, can you get no air kind of thing. And she had learned how to do the Heimlich maneuver watching Nickelodeon. They had a show. I don't know what the show was, but they were showing the kids how to do it. My little baby, because she, little skinny girl, got behind me, did her little fist just like they told you to do, and she did the up scoop, up scoop, up scoop, and it popped out. So I can honestly say my child saved my life by learning the Heimlich maneuver at 8 or 9 years old. And then she just went on back to watching TV like nothing had happened. My throat was fucked up for days after. Because, rice cakes are sharp and dry. And so it was wedged in there at some kind of weird angle. It was terrible. But, yeah, she knew what to do. And she saved her mommy. And I was all kinds of fucked up, And people were telling me later, well, you could have done like a self-Heimlich on against the edge of a table or some shit. I'm like, who knows some shit like that? What kind of weirdo freak are you? I never heard of no shit where I'm going to run up against a table and Heimlich myself. I never heard of that. But evidently it's a thing, Yeah, so anyway, that's what I say. Kids are amazing. You can teach them anything. Their minds are like sponges. And if they think it's going to be something that could help someone. So this is the time for you to teach both of them how to do that. And, so you guys go into a first aid course. With your daddy being the first aider at his job, he knows how to do it. But I wouldn't depend on him to teach my kids shit. I would be figuring out to get a divorce from that motherfucker. Question 18, female, 22 to 27 from Calgary, Canada. I'm 23 and I should know better, but I got extremely drunk and sent a long text message. Drunk texting is never a good idea. About how I had feelings for a coworker, and that's why I was so awkward around him. He sent a very polite message back saying that he was flattered, but that he didn't see coworkers that way. I kept sending messages, though, saying everything was all right, and a couple of other messages telling him that Radiohead by Creep was my anthem, and to follow me on Instagram. He didn't. And he didn't reply to anything at all to these other messages. I wasn't in my five senses since I drank a lot. After New Year, I will go back to work and I will have to see him. I'm dreading it. What should I say? Should I apologize or just ignore everything and pretend nothing happened? You're going to be like me and say, I don't know what you're talking about. The rule for when you do stupid shit like that is deny, deny, deny. That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that. You're making that up. Stop trying to gaslight me while you're really the one doing the gaslighting. It's like, that's a very interesting story. Did you read that? You see it on TV or something? Why would I text you? I barely know you. We work together and stuff. But this is only if he jams her up. You know what I mean? But if he doesn't say anything, then you don't say anything either. But if he comes and drags you up and say, well, what were you what was that all about the other night when you called me? What are you talking about? When you texted me, you texted me, I think you were drunk or something. It's like, dude, and make sure you delete all evidence from your phone. It's like, what? I texted you? So you go through your phone and you look and you're like, I don't see anything in here from you. What are you talking about? Now you don't blame it on the alcohol because see, alcohol, my thing is this. The American, ¿por qué? I like to say that. People ask me some stupid question or they say something I'm not trying to answer. I'd be like, ¿qué? Suddenly I turn bilingual. But you don't answer questions like this, especially somebody that you work with. You don't know nothing. Okay? You didn't see nothing, you didn't hear nothing. You leave this alone. That's your job. Okay? Because then if it's not on your phone, it didn't happen. That's why you make sure you delete any and all evidence. I'd get a new number. Shit, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not even my phone number. Shit. Because, at the job, now y'all don't need to, some things you don't laugh. And laughing is a sign of guilt. For most women, you don't laugh. It's not funny. Especially if it's your job. Question number 19, female, 22 to 27 from Santa Clara, California. What do you take with you the first time you're staying over with your new boyfriend at his place? It's a long time since I've stayed at a guy's place as I haven't been dating at all. And he is not black. Not sure if that matters, but I thought I would say so you have the full picture. This is my very first interracial relationship. So, ... What would you take with you, Deb? Do you take pajamas or just sleep commando? I would definitely involve some intimacy, as you say, which is great. I'm ready. But what do you wear in the morning if you haven't packed anything? Any tips from you and the squad will be greatly appreciated. Well, I'll tell you what I do. Vicky's and other, like, even J.C. Penney's. Where did I go? Oh, I went to J. Crew. And they had these little short pants, pajamas with short sleeve, like a little shirt with a little trim piping on the collar. It's a little bit low cut. It was real cute. And it was on sale for like, I don't know, $15 or something. So I bought that. And it's made from this silky material. It's got a cute little print on it and stuff. Okay, that's perfect lounge wear. But now it's in the winter, so I probably would wear something longer sleeves. They have like these cute stuff made out of fleece. And I'm not talking about them baggy sweatshirt looking things. I'm talking like a crop top kind of top, and then the leggings that go with it, and they're fleece lined. So they're warm, but they show your figure, and you got the little crop top, and it's a little bit loose. You get the kind that drops down on one shoulder, and that's what you put on in the morning. Okay, so you walk around and you look cute. Then at night, you can have like a little gown, or you could wear it teddy, or you could wear, something. You want to have on something. I mean, you don't want to just go in there just like, yes, let's get it on. You want to have a little bit of drama to it or something. But you have a duffel bag? Oh, well, I don't know about that. They just copied me because I always had a backpack that I kept I called it my whole pack. The trunk of my car. And it had an extra, deodorants and my special soaps and travel sizes of my cleansers and stuff, and makeup removers and all that kind of stuff. And, a cute little silk headscarf to tie up my hair and stuff like that. And I kept it in my whole bag in the trunk. So, if anything jumped off and I decided I wanted to be somewhere other than my house, then I had everything, all my stuff there in my whole bag. And it was a backpack. It was looked very innocuous. I did not want it to look like, oh, this is my bag that I go into men's houses and do nasty things with. I I just wanted to be looking like just anything. So in case when I open up my trunk at Costco or something to put my groceries in there, I didn't want everybody to advertise and say, "Ooh, she got that Victoria's Secret duffel bag with that big old VS on the front." Just advertising that it's your whole bag. Yeah. Yes, Keith. Got to have something. Yeah, I don't wear robes. I wear, like I said, the lounge thing. And now that it's winter, that's what I wear around the house. So it's definitely was something I would wear. You have a nice little color. It can have a little, like a light colored top and dark leggings or something. I have brown, gray, black, this color. Uh, what else? What other colors do I have? I don't even have about 4 or 5 different colors. And those leggings, they're fleece lined leggings. No Axe or Irish Spring, not that stuff you can smell a block away. Yeah, I bring my own soap. I like these handmade goat milk soaps because my skin is so freaking sensitive. Sensitive, I can't use everything. I'll get rashy, and that's not cute. So anyway, yes, that's what you do, girlfriend. So get online and just look around and look at some of those little websites. What's that little website all the little my little cousins be shopping on? Fashion Nova. And I'm not getting no pay from them. I'm just saying my little cousins shop there. And they be having that little cute stuff. It's cheap, but it's cute. They got me a couple of things for Christmas from there. And it's cute stuff, but that's where you can get some really cute stuff and it's not expensive. Yeah. That's the name of the little shop, the website or something. And they got some little, cute, and they got a lot of whole clothes on there too. So I was like, ooh. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying you get those. I'm saying get the loungewear. Question number 20, female, 28 to 34 from Fort Worth, Texas. I've been dating a guy, we're both 32 for around a month now, and we've slept together a few times. Things were going pretty well. We were having dinner together a couple of days ago when he asked if he could know about a scar on my stomach. I have no scar on my stomach, although I do have a very faint line. It's very visible. I think it's called the linea negra, and I've had it ever since I was a teenager. It's barely visible on me, and no one has ever commented on it before. Anyway, he asked whether it was because of having a baby cesarean section in the past, and I was so shocked. He knows a lot about me at this stage. Why would I hide such a thing? I have never been pregnant. It made me feel really self-conscious. That was his point. I think there is a slight additional backstory in that he has criticized my appearance a few times now. Uh-huh. I knew it. He has repeatedly mentioned that I should grow my hair out because it would look better, for example. At the same time, he says I'm very pretty and that I shouldn't be insecure. It's confusing. Is he negging me? Are these red flags? I'm generally very happy with my appearance, but I feel kind of nitpicked. What should I do or say? You should tell him, fuck you. Okay, so he's talking about, well, have you ever had a baby? And you say, are you that stupid that you don't know what a woman's body looks like after she's actually had a child versus one who hasn't? Is that what you're telling me? See, you flip it back on him. He's trying to make you feel bad. You flip it back and make him feel bad. You make him feel stupid, uneducated, ignorant, all of this kind of thing. Right? Then, you said he's criticized your appearance a few times now. He mentioned that you should grow your hair out. When you say, because it would look better, you say, well, you should grow your dick out because that would feel better. Then we'll both be happy. And see how quick I come up with those? I just can't. As soon as they say something that criticizes me, I just have to say something back. I just can't. My mouth, it just won't stay quiet. It just won't shut up. Anything you say that's going to be criticizing me, I'm going to say something back that's going to criticize you equally, if not more. Because sometimes, like, so say I say one thing and he says something and I say something. Then he comes back with line two. Okay, now I'm going for your jugular. Is that what we're doing? Because you know they were trying to say that they the leaders and stuff, and they're the leaders of the relationship, and men are, in charge and all this kind of stuff. Is that what we're doing? Let's go. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna do that. You're not gonna criticize shit about me. I don't even like it when guys come on to questions. This is not the you don't get to ask a question. These questions are already pre-planned. If you want to submit a question for the advice show, look in the show description down below, and you can submit your question. As a matter of fact, let me put that banner up here, right here. This is how you want to get a question on this show. That's how you do it. Look in the show description down below. Of course, there's no guarantee that you'll get your question on there, but if you don't submit it, you definitely won't get it on there. Okay. And so there you go. That's what you're watching. And all of these letters have been submitted in advance. We do not do live questions on this particular show. We do them sometimes, but this is not one of those times. All right. Now back to the show. Okay. Oops. People just don't listen. I just said no questions. You don't get to ask advice questions. You don't get to detract from the conversation, my brother. All right. Question number 21, female, 22 to 27, from Berkeley, California. I need to know what you think about this guy, Deb. Is it weird that he called me his after 2 days of talking? Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys don't have to tell me I saw it. He's already on a timeout. Okay, so I matched a guy on a dating app 4 days ago. On day one, he joked about marriage, about asking for my father's phone number, and about me meeting his parents and grandparents that don't even live in the same country. Oh, yeah, that's game. Yeah, 2 days. Day two, he made me talk to his friends without any previous warning and told me he really liked me and wanted to learn more about me. He asked if he could meet face to face in the 2 following weeks. His last message that day was, "Good night, mine." Oh, he's good. On day three, he sent me a couple of pictures that I didn't open yet and sent me his phone number. Now we're on day four, and I don't know what to do. We have never met, but he's already freaking me out. The fact that he called me his is something I just can't get past. Even under normal circumstances, I don't like being treated as someone else's property, but here we only talk for 2 days. What should I do? It's called block. The block and delete feature, that's what you do. Activate block. Because what you have here is a fool. What he's trying to do, he's feeling you out. This is, since you're so young, you don't seem to know the game. He's feeling you out to see how desperate you are to belong to somebody. The woman who is desperate to be in a committed relationship or to have a man would be just bite on this, like 9,000. She would be so happy that somebody is paying her this kind of attention and making the right sounds, like he wants her, and they're gonna have this, relationship, and he could be the one, and they could be looking at marriage until he's already claiming me. He's saying all the things that would be bait for that kind of woman. He's throwing it out to see if that's you. So he probably does it with all the women, and then he's just like a fisherman. There, you put your hook out there with the bait, and you're just trying to see who's gonna bite, and you're not biting. So what you do is you don't even need to tell him about it or explain or anything. Just block him. Okay? He probably don't even have no grandparents. You know what I mean? People just be lying, but it's all designed for her to think, because a lot of women put a lot of stock on that if they start, quote, meeting the family, end quote. They think it means something. I met so many players' families, they be in on the game too, especially if they think you got some money. They all going to come up on you. So, yeah, they're going to be like, oh, let's play in the game. So they can start asking you for stuff. So, that don't mean nothing. I don't be trying to meet somebody's family because I really don't give a fuck about your family. Hardly care about most of mine. Some I do, but not all of them. Some of them niggas, I see them on the street and will keep walking like I don't even know who they are. But it's like, it's just, these are the kind of games that will play, and simple women will bite. But you're not simple, so just block it. Question 22, female, 22 to 27, Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm 24 dating a 30-year-old guy that makes me question his sanity sometimes. Why? Because he won't stop talking about conspiracies. Ooh, I've been seeing him for 3 months now. Really good chemistry. He's a really nice guy. I enjoy hanging out with him. We share a lot of the same values in life overall. However, he's always discussing various conspiracy theories he believes in. He's anti vax and has lots of wild ideas about the world. I'm not sure if this is a deal breaker for me, lol. Intelligence in a partner is usually really important for me, but I'm finding myself overlooking this for some reason. Any advice on how to cope? He's not very receptive to debate on any of these topics, so my strategy has just been to avoid the discussion altogether. LOL. Why are you laughing? He's a nut. Okay, the fact that he's a charming nut doesn't make him not be crazy. Okay. Now you say that you are overlooking this for some reason. Why? Ask yourself, what is that reason when you can see he's an idiot? Get rid of this fool. And he's too old for you anyway. You're 24 and he's 30 and he's crazy. Oh, this is a serious next. We need to make signs. I need to make a sign so I can just hold it up and it says next or ¿qué? Or what other phrases do I have? Just no. Stuff like that. I need to make some signs. I think I'll do that. Because this is just a bit much. Activate block on this fool. Ghost him. Tell him you met someone else. And he's going to say, well, why? I thought we got along so well. Yeah, but me and your conspiracy theories, we're just not a match. It's not a love thing. Question number 23, female, 22 to 27 from Rochester, New York. So my very sweet mother lovingly buys me clothes for most holidays and sometimes as a gift just because she saw something that, quote, that's totally you, end quote. There's nothing wrong with the clothes. They're just not me, so I don't want to wear them. The problem is she's always gets so excited that I don't want to hurt her feelings, but the clothes go to the back of my closet to be donated, and then she asks about them and looks dejected when I tell her that they're donated. So now I just awkwardly hold on to them. Any suggestions for how to deal with this? Tell her that as you've gotten older, your taste has changed, and that the stuff that she picked for you that you used to like is not really working for you anymore because your taste has changed. You're gonna have to assume responsibility for this and make it seem like it's kind of a recent development, and then tell her not to buy you any more clothes. But if she wants to, get you clothes, to tell her to get you a gift card or something, and that you'll go and you pick out the stuff that you like and then show her what she got you. You know, it's sweet. But I mean, I had that problem with my daughter because, I would get stuff. I got stuff that I thought she would look good in, because she was tall and slim and, so she can wear all kind of clothes. And I would get her stuff, but then she decided she didn't want to wear anything that was tight or fit her. She only wanted to wear loose, baggy stuff. And I mean, that was her though. And, she had a skateboard and she used to wear Vans and, I mean, just totally different personality than what I thought she was going to have. But that was her. That's what she wanted to do. So when she wanted some clothes, I would give her the money, give her a Visa gift card. Just, I just couldn't deal with it. I didn't want to see her face or hear her complain about what I got. The only thing I could get her that she would like is jeans. But anything else like top sweaters, coats and stuff, that just did not work. So I just left it alone, let her get her own stuff. Question number 24, female, 22 to 27 from Washington, D.C. She's a Pisces. The male is 28 to 34, and he's a Cancer. And she writes, I'm pretty sure my boyfriend is settling for me. We've only been together for 7 months. I got pregnant early on in our relationship. He did ask me to be his girlfriend before finding out that news, however. He's never been touchy-feely with me and tried to push me away when I tried to cuddle or hug him. We have intimacy maybe once a week. He'd rather handle things himself than make advances at me. Oh. He doesn't even look at me when I get undressed, which sucks. No compliments ever. I realize pregnancy is probably not the most attractive thing, but even then, when I wasn't far along, our intimate life was pretty lame. The last time I tried getting busy with him, he rejected me flat out and told me I wasn't paying attention to the movie we were watching. Wow. I just feel rejected and ugly, and I'm really considering leaving him. Pregnancy is super hard, and he doesn't try to comfort me at all. And I feel like at this point, I'd rather be single and co-parent. I'm constantly ignored. He'd rather watch TikToks on his phone. And even told me he was excited for the baby to come so he has someone to entertain him. I tried to tell him I need more affection in the past, and in return, I'll do things for him to make his life easier. But that only lasted a few days before he quit. I feel like I'd be nagging if I asked again. I don't think I'm his normal type because he's usually attracted to more, I don't know how to put this nicely, unstable, kind of trashy women. And I'm not that. So I really think he's just settling. I don't think I'm unattractive by any means, but I'm just more of the girl next door type, pretty and not fire hot or anything. What should I do? Should I bring this up to him again? Or is it nagging at this point? Or should I just leave? I feel like we would co parent pretty well, but it's just so hard because I'm 6 months pregnant. What you should have done the day that you found out that you was pregnant by a man that you had only been together for a little bit. You 6 months pregnant and you only been with him for 7 months. Do you understand how stupid you are right now? You should have been, the day after that happened, up and got the morning after pill. You should have, once you didn't do that and you found out you were pregnant, headed to the latest abortion clinic. That's what you should have done. Instead, you were bringing a baby into a situation with a man that you don't even know, didn't know beans about, but you got pregnant by. I don't understand what the fuck you was thinking. That's a stupid, stupid, stupid ass thing to do. The man doesn't know you and the man don't want you. He claims he's going to want the baby, but he's going to want the baby. He's going to realize it has hooks in it because he's going to have to deal with your ass. And he's not going to want to do that. It's going to create drama. The best thing you could do if he wants to have this baby is give him the baby, sign the baby over to him, and go on with your life and use birth control from here on out. Because this was about the stupidest, dumbest shit I've ever heard of. 6 months pregnant by a man you've been knowing for 7 months. And you want to cry to me about how hard pregnancy is and how he don't comfort you and he don't want you? Of course he don't want you. He didn't want you then. You was just some booty that just happened to get pregnant. So he's trying to be, as a cancer man, do the right thing and stand by his child because family tends to be very important to cancer men. Most of them. It's important to them. But for you to have a baby by somebody in a situation like this was a stupid, 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 bonehead ass thing to do. Yeah, this is like a what you call it, a no bueno moment. This you just this is some stupid ass decision making. Question number 25, male 18 to 21 in the South Bend, Indiana. He is a Taurus. Deb, I really like this girl. She flirted with me here and there, so I eventually worked up the courage to ask her out. But she rejected me like bam. Ooh. I was feeling pretty crappy for a couple of months, but I really finally feel like I can get past it now. I've just been keeping busy, hanging out with friends and such. I run into her every now and again, but I don't really talk to her or anything. We weren't very close before I asked her out, so I figured things should just go back to the way that they were. But recently, she texted me saying that I'm an asshole for not keeping in touch and that a guy who really wants a girl will make an effort to keep in touch with her. Okay, so now what should I do? Should I clear the air with her or just ignore her? No, you shouldn't ignore her. What you should do, this is your opportunity to tell her about herself, though. Now, see, this is the moment that separates the men from the little bitch boys. Okay? So she's trying to play you to see if you a little bitch boy. And I'm glad you had enough sense to write to me, though, because I'm about to tell you how to handle this so that you come out looking like a G. So you text her back and you say, I'm not anything except a man who knows how to take no for an answer. Okay, so you're going to start off gentlemanly, right? You're going to start off cool, just like, nah, baby, you confused. That's going to be your general persona. I take no for an answer. I respect women's no. Okay, so now what that does, it puts the ball back in her court. So she's going to have to try to say either that her no didn't really mean no, which makes her sound stupid, or she's going to say, well, I only said that because I thought you would this and that. Okay, so then that's when you get her. Because she's not going to say that first one. She's going to go with well, I thought that you would, follow up, you would pursue me. And I say, no, well, see, I'm not thirsty like that, though. I got options. And one thing that I don't do is chase bitches. Confused bitches that want to play childish games. I'm not about that life. So lose my number. Don't bother me anymore. That's what you do. Now, for the rest of her life, she is going to remember you as a man who checked her stupid little girl behavior. Don't take any more of her calls. Make sure you block her number. That's how you do it like a G. Would most men do that? Nope. Because y'all, your thirst is just overwhelming. And all you can think about is this might be an opportunity to get some pussy. So you don't care that you're disrespected and that she's going to tell all of her friends how she punked you and how you were stupid and how you went for it and all the games she ran on you and stuff. You guys don't even realize how women talk. And the fact that you would still interact with her after she treated you like that would show that you was desperate, lonely, thirsty, have no self-esteem, no cojones, no manhood, no masculinity, nothing. You're a thirst bucket. And you let a woman reject you and then come at you with some tired little bullshit game like this, and you interact with her in a positive way to give her what she wants. That is what you do not do, sir. You shut that bitch down. Okay? Make sure you tell her about herself. You don't let nobody play you like this. Yeah, a whole bucket of thirst, just full of water, just trying to quench that thirst. Dude, I'm telling you. And I know like a lot of young dudes, this is the kind of stuff your daddy should be telling you this. But they don't have their daddies around. But I'm telling you, this is what you have to do. So if you want a woman to respect you to the point where no matter where you are in life and you run into her, she will be like, hi, whatever your name is, say, Roger. Roger, hi, how are you doing? And she will do it with the most respectful tone of voice. This shit here that how she gonna call you, and the first thing she gonna do is start calling you a profane name because you didn't play some silly game that she wanted you to play. That's why you don't have to. You're not gonna say you bang. That's not how you're gonna do it. You be like, I don't do silly bitch shit. I want a woman who knows what she wants, and I don't know what you was trying to play, but we're not doing that kind of thing. Okay. That's what you do. So it's a middle of it. It's neither ignore her nor what did you say? Clear the air with her. You're not gonna clear the air and you're not gonna ignore her, but you're not gonna give her what she wants either. You're gonna speak your piece and you're gonna shut that shit down and you're gonna leave her face cracked. That's what you're gonna do. And here's our final question of the night. This is the one, that's right, Lee. This is the one that was the last minute add-on. Candace's note say it came in today, but she just added it on here. Probably because it's going to be the end of the year and she didn't want to carry it on over. Okay, so this is from a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from China. And she says, hello, Deborah. I'm 25 years old and I am an American. I'm currently living and working abroad. I live in a city where there are plenty of foreigners. I've noticed that the men 27 to 45 who are attracted to me are very shy. They would rather hide behind a friend or their phone to express interest in me or to ask me out on a date. Their shyness really doesn't make me feel desirable. It actually makes me feel ugly. I'm friendly, optimistic, and enjoy having fun. I'm not physically unattractive, but shy men really turn me off. What are your thoughts? Is this just how the majority of men behave? Do most of them truly lack this much confidence when it comes to dating? Thank you. Absolutely. Men's number one fear seems to be of a woman rejecting them. Ain't nobody died yet from getting rejected, but you would swear that every man in this world, if a woman says no to him, that he just blows up, dries up and blows away or something. That's how afraid they are of it. Not realizing, when I put it into perspective of them, it's like, you get rejected every day, right? You apply for an apartment, they don't take you apply for the job. Oh, doesn't meet minimum qualifications. Oh, we chose, we decided to go in another direction. That classic rejection letter, right? You apply for a credit card, they tell your ass, no, get out of here. What you thinking? You apply to buy a car, same thing. They're like, no, you need a cosigner. Nope, we don't want any parts of you. You don't have enough money. You just gonna default on the thing. You apply for mortgage. Nope. Right? We get, you at work, right? You got the job, right? But you want to be head of this project. Your boss looks at you like you have two heads and like, get out of here. You wet behind the ears. You don't know shit. Rejection. So, men get rejected all the time, right? But the only time that they seem to have all this drama and pain and angst about it is if a woman does it. Any other situation, they might not like it. Of course, nobody wants to be told no. It's not I mean, we have our little dreams and hopes up and stuff, but they don't flip the fuck out like want to go shoot up places and stalk people and stuff like they do if a woman does it. It's the most interesting and crazy thing. And then they want to say that they're more logical and intelligent than women. No, you're not. You're absolutely emotional toddlers, all of you. You just show it in different ways. But only somebody who was like at the very edge of maturity would even think about behaving in the way that they behave when they get rejected. It just shows men or not, they be on their own jock fantasizing some bullshit about how in charge and enlarged they are because your behavior does not demonstrate that at all. Okay, so with all of that said, girlfriend, you gotta have to factor in the fact that you're in China. Now, no matter what people might do in their own countries, the fact that they are in an environment where certain kind of social boundaries of politeness and stuff are part of the culture, that I think may have something to do with it, right? Because when you're in China, you're gonna, not offend people. You're not gonna be like all aggressive and all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's just not the Asian culture, as far as I can understand. All the people I've ever met, they go out of their way to be polite and delicate. Even if they have to criticize you, it's done very politely and very, I mean, just with the utmost respect. I mean, unless they're like a, gangster or something. But, so you're looking at your American culture in another country and expecting guys to be like American men, which they're really not going to. So I'm going to say this. You need to look at the video I did on breadcrumbing. Now, when I say breadcrumbing, I mean it differently than I think most people do. When I started using the term back in the late 90s, what I meant was breadcrumbing is a way for a woman to lead a man with little bites of success, little tasty treats and morsels to her. It is not an overt asking him out. It is a way of flirting, and a way of guiding a man and reassuring him that you won't reject him without actually coming out and asking him out or suggesting anything or anything like that. It is a very yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jazine. She's got to kind of readjust her thinking. She's thinking like an American in a culture, in an environment where that's not part of the culture. And so look at the becoming video and kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. And it will give you some tips on how you have to approach guys like this. There's a way to do it. And, it could be that your American boisterousness is kind of overpowering for them. If you look at how the Asian women are, they tend to be a little bit more demure, soft spoken, and all this kind of stuff. That's what they're used to. And then here you come, hey, girl, yeah. And, just being all regular, which is our culture, that may be part of it. The other part is, so then, after you get the idea of how to breadcrumb, I think your view of how to approach these kind of guys or how to lead them to, approach you the way that you want them to will be a little more clear. Yeah, that what you're interpreting as shyness is just their cultural norm. Of course, the other thing is, you could, if you want to meet somebody, isn't that where the blind date setups are really common? Where, people know people and they hook you up with a blind date, or you go to one of these dating counselor type of people, but usually it's like friends or somebody's auntie knows somebody's son and all this kind of stuff, and then people kind of hook you up and that's how you date. Try that too. But all of this still is going to you're going to have to adjust your approach to get them. They're not going to change for you. You're in China. Do things the Chinese way. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Tay, your ass ain't scared. You dating a basketball player. You know what I'm talking about. You know how we do things here in the U.S. Ain't nobody shy. Well, the women aren't anyway. Some of the men are. But shoot. Anyway, that is our crazy show for today. I believe this is our last show, but like I said, I might be able to squeeze something in while I'm on location again. I'm gonna bring my light this time though, because that sitting in the dark trying to do a show, that was kind of weird for me. I was like, what the hell is happening here? But I do have a couple of things that we could talk about. I'm really starting to do a lot of work on February. I'm going to be doing some stuff on that, all this weekend. And and next week, and then the interviews start, mid-January. I'll start doing the pre-recorded interviews. So I'm about to be at death's door here in a minute. 2022 is nipping at my heels. But you guys, yeah, I hope you guys have a good time with your New Year's parties and stuff. I'll try to see if I can upload some video from my cousin's house because it's gonna be wild. I already know they're gonna be drunk, singing, dancing, making Soul Train lines, all kind of crazy stuff. My family is out off the chain. But you guys, please hit the like button before you jump up out of here. Share any video of over the 1,000 that we have here on the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Get ready to get hit with a video a day, February. That's 28 days of videos. Every single day we have a guest or an upload or a panel discussion, something. Something is going on every single day of the month of February on this channel. This will be our 5th annual event. And I have already getting lined up some great speakers. The woman going to come in and talk about your health and fitness and eating better and stuff, because our theme for February for 2022 is winning at life. Winning at life. That's a big umbrella, and underneath that are going to be guidelines and tips and authors and public speakers and motivational speakers and educators and people to be here to teach you how to live your best life. We're going to talk about your money. We're going to talk about your parenting. We're going to talk about your spirituality. We're going to talk about your physical health, your weight, exercise, everything that makes you who you are. It's going to make you a better woman. At the end of them 28 days, you're going to be better by March 1st than you were January 31st. I guarantee it. All right? That's what we do here. That's what we do. So you guys go out, make me proud. Have fun on New Year's. And if I don't see you before that, which, like I said, I might try to slip in here and do something, a little something before the 1st, then I will see you guys next Tuesday. Love all of you. Thank you for this wonderful year of your support and love. And I hope you guys go out and have the best New Year's Eve that you can possibly have. Be safe out there. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.